Welcome back into that Sean podcast. Coming back at you. Back to the draft once again. Yeah, you see what I did there? Cat Daddy, what's on your mind?
Last week, you guys got to see us do our first ever redraft, 2017. This year, we're giving you our second ever redraft, and this time it's the 2018 drafts.
Ain't this going to be fun? All right. Looking at it here, it looks like I have the odds these times. This time. Where did I learn to talk? So, everything for the 2017 that we did gets erased. Everything that actually happened in 2017 does happen. That's how we're predicating this. So, once again, I'm on the board, number 1 overall with the Cleveland Browns. And they had taken Baker Mayfield out of Oklahoma. I am not taking Baker Mayfield.
What?
Not because I don't like Baker Mayfield. He just didn't turn out to be the best quarterback from this draft. Who turned out to be the best quarterback from this draft is Josh Allen. And that is who I'm taking with the first overall pick. Josh Allen out of Wyoming. So,
all right.
Cadday, you're up with the New York Giants.
In real life, the New York Giants, Saquon Barkley out of Penn State, number 2. Now, well,
you're not going to do that?
While Saquon Barkley has been a special running back, he's been having an especially hard time staying on the field. And
even if he wasn't,
running back should not be taken this high. So in this redraft, the New York football playing Giants draft their franchise quarterback, which will save them from the future misery that is Daniel Jones. And since Josh Allen is off the board, the New York football playing Giants will draft Lamar Jackson, Louisville.
Ooh, interesting. All right, next up, I have the New York Jets. And the New York Jets had selected Sam Darnold. Well,
keeping that one?
I am not making that mistake again. So, I do still like Baker, but I don't like Baker this early. So, instead, the Jets are going to start building up their team. They're going to start put together a good team. So when they do have a quarterback, or if they can sign a quarterback, the quarterback will be happy. And what would make a quarterback happy? A better offensive line. So, at this given point, I'm going to give them Quentin Nelson out of Notre Dame.
All right. So that brings me on the clock.
I heard the dismay in your voice.
I know, because I'm sitting at number 4 with Cleveland. Now, in real life, they'd taken Denzel Ward, cornerback out of Ohio State. Not a bad pick. But in this draft, I solved Cleveland's quarterback issue last week, and you just solved Cleveland's quarterback issue again this week. And my plan was, let's go ahead and grab Nelson at number 4 to protect our franchise quarterback. Because I thought you were keeping Sam Darnold this whole time. So
yeah, sure you did.
Yeah. All right. So we need offensive line to protect our franchise quarterback. But I like the direction they originally went with cornerback. While Denzel Ward has been a solid cornerback, he is not the
best out of this draft.
Not number 4 overall. So we're going to get the top cornerback. We're going to draft Jair Alexander from Louisville. Louisville.
The little pause here. Interestingly enough, I do like Jair, and I thought you'd pick him, but I don't think he's the best corner out of this draft. So, we're going to have some fun later. All right.
Well,
moving on. I got the Denver Broncos, who took Bradley Chubb. And you know something? Denver's going to stick with Bradley Chubb.
All right. I think he was the best edge rusher in this class.
And not to mention, I think he was the best on the board at this given point in the draft. Bradley Chubb, I know he's had some injury issues, but he's still a really good player.
All right, so it puts me on the clock at number 6 with the Indianapolis Colts. In real life, they had drafted Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame. But
can't do that no more.
I know. We're looking offense. Andrew Luck is returning after missing the season with a shoulder surgery. But I really like what Indianapolis did in this draft in 2018, grabbing Nelson in the first round, grabbing Darius Leonard in the second round. Now, unfortunately, Leonard is not going to be there when they draft in the second round. So they got to pick him here to make sure that he's on their team.
Wow, going early with it.
We are. Darius Leonard, you're staying in Indianapolis. You're just making many millions more.
All right. Some people might get at me for this one, but I am not a hater of this player like a lot of people are currently. Buffalo picked Josh Allen here. They can't pick Josh Allen here now. Baker Mayfield's still on the board. I'm not a Baker hater. I actually think Baker's pretty good when healthy and with proper direction and maybe proper weapons. So I think Buffalo goes for some Baker Mayfield action here out of Oklahoma. Maybe Sean McDermott gets Baker right like he got Josh Allen right.
All right, that puts me on the clock with Chicago at number 8. And, I mean, Roquan Smith, I thought, was an excellent selection for the Bears.
Very excellent selection.
He was so good that we're going to keep him here. We're going to keep Roquan Smith.
I would not, but that's okay.
Hey, that's okay. Out of Georgia.
All right, San Francisco's up. San Francisco, at the time, took Mike McGlinchey. I don't think he's turned out the way they would have liked him to. I mean, he's played serviceable, but he hasn't been like that stud player that you would really like him to be. So I think I'm gonna go a different direction for San Francisco here. With that said, looking at some of these other players, I'm gonna help San Francisco out on their defense. And I'm going to take a guy. I know he's had some injury issues, but he's still a complete stud when he's on the field. And I'm going to go Derwin James, safety, out of Florida State.
All right, so that ruins future plans I had. But we'll adjust, we'll adapt, improvise, overcome. Yes. All right, so I'm sitting at Arizona number 10. Now, Arizona had traded up with the then Oakland Raiders. In real life, they drafted Josh Rosen, quarterback out of UCLA. But I think at the time, Arizona had Sam Bradford, Mike Lennon at quarterback on the roster. Is there a quarterback that we like here? No. So we're not going to look at quarterback. We got to look around. Let's see, we could use playmakers, maybe some help in the secondary because Tyrann Mathieu was let go. So let's see who we get. Yeah, not a playmaker there. But we could use some offensive line help for whatever quarterback we do decide to roll with.
You could.
So we're going to go more Orlando Brown Jr. out of Oklahoma.
All right, next up, I have Miami, who originally took Micah Fitzpatrick. Really like this pick, but they did not use him correctly. He was out of there before he could even get started. So I'm going to give them another secondary piece. I'm going to give them a cornerback. I'm going to give them who I believe currently out of this particular draft was the best corner. And that would be J.C. Jackson out of Maryland.
All right, that puts me on the clock with Tampa Bay at number 12, and I think that was with a trade with Cincinnati.
Notice he did not argue too much.
Hey, I drafted Alexander before. I got my guy. We're good. You can keep saying J.C. Jackson's the best. We'll see.
Look at the numbers. And I know he's going to come back at me. Well, you say numbers lie.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. We got Tampa Bay Buccaneers because we're just going to move along instead of sit here and argue for a while. All right.
I think I ended the argument with myself.
In real life, the Buccaneers traded for Jason Pierre-Paul, which really helped satisfy that need for edge. Defensive line shouldn't be a top priority. Let's see.
They did to Vita Vea, and he did work out real well.
He did. Real life Vita Vea from Washington. But, they still have Doug Martin on the roster. The Duggernauts. The muscle hamster.
Running back?
He is still underperforming. So I got to fix this for them a second time. So we're going to go Nick Chubb.
There you go. I was about to say, you can't go
Saquon.
Saquon. He's not the best one in this class. All right. Next up, I've got the Washington football team. They originally took Daron Payne. They're still sitting there like, you know something? We want defensive. We want defensive line. We want to go that route. But instead, Daron Payne. They're going to get someone a little bit more dynamic, which is Vita Vea out of Washington. You pair Vita Vea with Jonathan Allen. Oh, my God. Someone's going to die. Now Sean can right a wrong.
Ooh, I don't know. I kind of feel like sticking it to him.
You can right this wrong, Sean.
All right. So we're sitting here, New Orleans, 14 overall. They traded up with Green Bay. They just came off a killer 2017 draft class. In the 2018 year, or heading into the 2018 year, they were desperate for a pass rusher. I'm talking the worst way. I'm talking they were desperate enough to trade up with Green Bay to draft Marcus Davenport out of the University of Texas, San Antonio. And you already know how I feel about this trade. So at this spot, I think we need to focus on defense. We need to go either edge or linebacker. Next best edge person I have on my board is Sam Hubbard, who doesn't excite me quite as much as Fred Warner.
Yeah. So Fred Warner,
the linebacker out of BYU.
All right, next up, I have the Raiders, who took Colton Miller. And Colton Miller hasn't been bad. He's actually grown into a pretty solid player. But, unfortunately, he is not the best tackle on my board right now. So Colton Miller will not be the pick here. My pick here will be Brian O'Neill out of Pittsburgh. I just keep messing up Sean's draft.
You do, because I'm sitting here at number 16 with Buffalo. I'm thinking, man, I kind of hope Brian O'Neill falls, because that would help satisfy a need that they have. But no, You sniped me.
That's what I do.
That is what you do. So Buffalo Bills. What do we need for Buffalo? Oh. We need a quarterback. Well, no. We don't like that. All right.
I just ruined this whole draft, people.
Let's see. Oh, I like where they went originally with Tremaine Edmonds, but that's not going to be the pick. I think here we need to help the offense a little bit, and we need a security blanket at tight ends. We need somebody who is going to be a constant receiving threat to help keep that defense honest. So we're going Mark Andrews, tight end out of Oklahoma.
Nice. Next up, I have the Chargers. And unfortunately, I gave Derwin James away. So, that's all right. That's okay. Chargers going to be okay. Because Micah Fitzpatrick is still out there. And he is a dynamic safety. Can do a whole lot of things for this Chargers defense. And that's Micah Fitzpatrick out of Alabama.
All right.
All right.
Woo.
Green Bay.
Man, we're on the clock. We're number 18. Green Bay is hoping that one of the top cornerbacks fall to them.
One is.
Yeah.
One is there.
Yeah. I was hoping one of the top two would fall. But since the top two cornerbacks, that's Jair number 1 and then J.C. Jackson number 2, if
flip that, but okay,
they're not there, then we need to turn our attention to wide receiver, because just like last year, and when we did the 2017 redraft, Jordy Nelson left in free agency, and by taking a wide receiver here in round 1, it means that we don't have to spend 3 draft picks, rounds 4, 5, and 6, drafting a wide receiver. And
it's gonna be interesting who you pick, though.
I think this guy would fit well with Devontae Adams, and it's gonna be DJ Moore.
So that's gonna be interesting, because I have a question. Yes, I know I'm veering off the beaten path. How would this work, though? Because I know Aaron Rodgers is very particular, and I know it takes a while to get a little bit of a rapport with him. And at the time, DJ Moore was considered more of an athlete. I get the pick because he's fantastic, but it's taken him a couple years to become what he is. At the time, I'm just saying, Calvin Ridley would have made more sense because he was a crisp route runner. He was the type of guy who would be in the spot that you need when he needed. That sounds like more of an Aaron Rodgers type guy.
I know.
I get why the DJ Moore thing.
But if this is what we know now, taking it then.
Right, at the same time, well, that's like knowing what I know now. I'm not sure that DJ Moore is as good of a fit as Calvin Ridley. But I'm not poo-pooing the pick.
That means you're up next.
Go there, so that's why I had that prepared. I had that full-fledged prepared for you. So, all right. So DJ Moore out of Maryland.
Maryland.
Yep. All right. Cowboys are up. They took Leighton Vander Esch out of Boise State. And Leighton Vander Esch has been awesome. He's been bad. And he's been solid. We need more than that. So, with that said, I'm not taking Leighton Vander Esch. Note, I gotta look at what's on the board because it's tough sledding from this part of the draft, man. You did get me when you took Fred Warner. That was a guy I was looking at. So considering that, I'm gonna take the next best guy at linebacker, because I still believe linebacker was a need for the Cowboys at this given point, considering there's no other corners that I would take. There's no other safeties. At this given point, the Cowboys' offensive line was actually pretty darn good. So, knowing what I know now, there's no one here that I would really have truly looked at. I mean, maybe wide receiver, but do I want to reach for a guy like, let's say, Cortland Sutton? Do I want Calvin Ridley? Did he fit the Cowboys offense at this time? So, with that all said, I'm going to take Tremaine Edmonds, who I think was an actual better linebacker prospect at the time.
All right, so that puts me on the clock. Number 20, Detroit Lions. In real life, they'd taken center Frank Ragnow from Arkansas.
Who's been good.
Now, yeah, I mean, that really worked out for him. And in real life, let me see what our needs are. That way, because I think that might be the third one that I kept the same, and I don't want to do that if I don't have to. But I think this is Matt Patricia's first year as Detroit's head coach. Oh, it was.
Only kept one the same.
They had just fired Jim Caldwell after that 9-7 season. So he is building.
Nonsense.
He is
nonsense.
Right, building this roster. They released Eric Ebron. We could use a tight end.
Good.
I mean, we have Dallas Goedert, Mike Gesicki. We have some guy named Dalton Schultz. Let's see. But that Detroit defense could use a pass rusher. I don't know if I like Sam Hubbard here. But we could use linebacker. I would like more Harold Landry out of Boston College.
Good pick. Very good pick.
Almost pulled the trigger on Frank Ragnow again. Close.
Well, speaking of that,
you're welcome.
Cincinnati Bengals are up, and they originally take Billy Price, center out of Ohio State. He did not work out, but as you said, and I thank you, Frank Ragnow is on the board, and we're taking Frank Ragnow right now out of Arkansas, and he'll work out just fine.
All right, 22. I'm on the clock with the Tennessee Titans. They drafted Rashaan Evans, linebacker out of Alabama. Now, in real life, the previous year's number one pick, Corey Davis, hasn't been the offensive weapon that Marcus Mariota needed. And they get to revisit that here. So we need a number one receiving option. And we still have a Calvin Ridley on the board.
Yes, we do.
So we're going to take our chances before Atlanta can get to him.
All right. So next up, I have the New England Patriots, who took Isaiah Wynn out of Georgia. And it hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been good. So instead of Isaiah Wynn, we're going to go offensive line here. And we're going to take Alex Kappa.
All right. So that puts me on the clock. Number 24, Carolina Panthers. In real life, they drafted wide receiver DJ Moore out of Maryland.
Not on the board.
But I had taken him. So Carolina still has a need for a wide receiver, but we gotta look at who we got available. Cortland Sutton.
And
Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Alan Lazard too. So I mean, Alan Lazard could be a starter on any team in the league, right? Right.
Huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, let's see. Carolina could use tight end because Greg Olsen is being pursued by TV, I think, even at this point. So we don't know how long he's going to stay. So the question is, do I go Dallas Goedert or Mike Gesicki for my tight end I'm choosing? And I'm going to go with Cam Newton's still quarterback here at this time.
That is correct. So you need a guy with a big catch radius.
Yep. I'm liking Mike Gesicki here.
Mike Gesicki?
Mike Gesicki, Penn State.
So next up, I have Baltimore, who took Hayden Hurst with their first round pick. They're not going to do that this time. At this given point, they could go tight end, which we still do have Dallas Goedert out there. But I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to give them Cortland Sutton out of SMU.
And it's funny to think that Baltimore drafted Hayden Hurst in the first round. They drafted Mark Andrews later on, and Mark Andrews just been beasting.
Not to mention Hayden Hurst was like 25. All right. Or was he like 26? Whatever. Next up, you got Atlanta. What will they do?
Yeah, let's see. Because I have my crystal ball, and I know that defense is going to be a big issue in the future, we need to find
all over the place
defense, right? We need interior defensive line, and there's somebody who fits that bill.
We need safety.
We need safety.
Someone who fits that bill.
So we're going to go defensive line, Deron Payne, Alabama.
There you go. All right, next up, I have the Seattle Seahawks. They took Rashad Penny.
You're keeping this one, right?
Only took him 5 years to turn out to be what he's supposed to be. I'm not taking a running back for them. If I would here, it would be Saquon, but I'm not. I'm actually going to upgrade their offensive line, something that they have no clue how to do. And I'm going to take Wyatt Teller. Very late round pick that Buffalo had taken out of Virginia Tech. Very good guard.
All right, so that puts me on the clock with Pittsburgh at number 28. In real life, they drafted Terrell Edmonds from Virginia Tech.
Oh, this is good. This is going to really make certain fans mad. I already know who he's taking. And they're going to be so mad about this.
Do you? You know who I'm taking?
All right.
All right. Well, we got a crazy year ahead of the Steelers, right? Le'Veon Bell refuses to sign his franchise tender. He holds out. Ben Roethlisberger's calling out teammates publicly, begins to feel some sort of way about the team drafting Mason Rudolph. Antonio Brown happens. Furniture gets tossed out of windows. He argues with his offensive coordinator about his role in the team. He gets upset with Juju Smith-Schuster when Smith-Schuster is named MVP of the team. After the season, he demands a trade. So, we got like this whole disaster out there. But is there any wide receiver worth taking in the first round? I'm going to say probably not.
I'd say yes, but that's still not who the Steelers should be looking at.
Nope. I think we got to focus on defense.
Yep.
Certainly not going to be quarterback. As much as I want to pull the trigger with like Sam Darnold, that's not going to happen.
No.
So it'll be interesting. We got to focus on defense, and I think safety is a big need. Mm-hmm. It would have been nice. What if Minkah Fitzpatrick would have fallen this far?
Nope.
But he didn't. So I have the debate between Terrell Edmonds, who's been pretty solid for Pittsburgh, or the guy who was showing up for Cincinnati in the playoffs, Jesse Bates.
Thank you.
So we're going Wake Forest, Jesse Bates. That's who you thought I was taking?
Exactly.
I'm too predictable, man.
It just makes sense. And I know you like Jesse Bates.
I do.
That's who I would have picked. So, next up, but yeah, I guess that hands down. Like, gonna make so many Cincinnati fans mad. All right, next up we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who took Taven Bryan.
Crickets. Out of Florida. Yeah. Well, before you go with your pick, it just shows that Jacksonville wastes more than their top 5 picks, right? They don't just bust on the top 5; they bust on pick number 29. They're not prejudiced at all. Like, it doesn't matter where we're picking; we're going to blow this one.
Like who? So, just to make sure, because I'm gonna make this real easy for Jacksonville. I'm gonna take a solid, just real solid player for them. I just want to make sure we haven't taken them yet. Did we take Sam Hubbard off the board yet?
We have not.
Sam Hubbard, Ohio State, Jacksonville Jaguars. He's not the most flashy player, but he will work and get it done. Stop taking players like Taven Bryan with like kind of upside that never going to pan out. Speaking of guys with upside that are never going to pan out.
That brings me to Minnesota Vikings at number 30, who in real life had taken Mike Hughes out of UCF, Central Florida. Man, and some things don't change, and one of those is the Minnesota Vikings needing a cornerback, so we're going Denzel Ward from the Ohio State. We're going to end his fall.
Much better corner here. All right, next up, I have the Baltimore Ravens, who traded back into the first round to take Lamar Jackson. Sorry, Baltimore. There's no quarterback I want to take.
Whoa. Got New England at 31. You're skipping to me, yeah.
I'm sorry, I skipped all that. Oh, no, I got New England.
Yeah.
31, who took Sony Michel. Why New England's taking a first-round running back? I don't know. But you know something? I ain't going to question Bill Belichick, but he ain't taking no Sony Michel. As much as I like Sony Michel, and I think that he is very talented, I don't know why people keep sleeping on him. Yeah, I say use Sean McVay. I'm going to give them Saquon Barkley. Oh, good Lord. Could you imagine Saquon in a New England offense?
Man, now that's a good.
That's scary.
That is. All right, so now we got pick number 32. Baltimore just traded up with Philadelphia to sneak back into the first round. Real life, they drafted Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
They could make Philadelphia really mad here.
Let's see.
Could make Philly really mad.
You had drafted Portland Sutton for them earlier, so it took care of a wide receiver need. Their quarterback here is Joe Flacco, I think.
Make Philly really mad.
I know. They made a really good pick when they got Mark Andrews later on in the draft. Andrews is gone. There's no chance of falling to him. Nope. So we need a receiving threat. Yeah, I don't like Michael Gallup here. Tight end, I think, is more unique. But yeah, we're missing out on Mark Andrews. We're definitely not taking Hayden Hurst. So we're going to the South Dakota State University. I think the Jackrabbits. Dallas Goddard.
Yep. I predicted that one again. 2 predictions on Sean this week.
Man, I'm going to change it up next time. I'm going to change it up next time. I'm going to draft Sam Darnold number 1. Yeah.
Can't next week. So, yes, next week, if you guys don't know, it's going to be the 2019 draft. If you guys did not like who we picked for your team in any of the drafts this week, well, just deal with it. I mean, you can hit us up online, the Cat Daddy, Ush Elliott, Instagram and Twitter. Let us know what you think. We might take it in consideration. We might not, but you know. Actually, Next week, we will not be doing a redraft.
We
will be doing our monthly mock draft. Our next redraft for 2019 won't be until the 2nd, which is Ash Wednesday. That's what my calendar's telling me. So, you know. All right. That's all she wrote, folks. Anything left for the people, Cat Daddy?
Nope. Hopefully I did your franchises and whatever team you root for. Hopefully we did them justice. If not, let us know.